said it was nothing, just lights in the trees, a trick of the frost, a ghost on the breeze. But I saw a mirror older than me, staring through time like it wanted to speak. The forest went silent, the world held its breath. Something was watching beyond life and death. We stepped through the green, boots breaking the seal, not chasing a light, but something too real. I came back with salt on my skin, my mind split wide where the storm got in. They call it a test, but I know the deal. History blinks beneath the green veil.
In the radiant stillness of the convergence field, the Creator stepped aside and revealed what was to come. A second path of golden light opened, and from it emerged a presence both familiar and eternal, the Creator's Son, the bearer of resonance. He called to Leo Barrett, not as a messiah, but as a mirror. Together they walked through a corridor woven from memory and meaning, a realm beyond time where faith and science were not opposites, but reflections of the same divine geometry. The Son revealed the truth of humanity's fracture, that when the old world met the new, conquest silenced harmony. The songs of the indigenous, the sacred languages of the earth were not primitive, they were the planet's code. When those frequencies were erased, humanity's resonance dimmed, yet hope endured. The signal buried beneath Capel Green was not random, it was the fulcrum of remembrance, the harmonic intersection where the world's two halves could finally reunite. Leo was not chosen by blood, but by will. He was not meant to save humanity, but to remind it, to stand as the bridge between what was forgotten and what must return. When the sun's light began to fade, his words lingered like a vibration in Leo's heart. They will not see a savior, they will see a mirror. Let them look long enough, and they will begin to remember themselves. And as the corridor of light collapsed into silence, Leo turned toward Earth once more, carrying within him the resonance of all that had ever been lost. The field was waiting, the world was ready. They were no longer suspended in the dilation field. Jack, Leo, and Sergeant B moved, forward, downward, inward, through the transit corridor toward Capel Green. The harmonic sheath pulsed around them, each tone a heartbeat of the planet itself. And across the earth, something had already begun. At that very moment, ancient structures stirred beneath moonlight. The Great Pyramid thrummed with buried thunder, glyphs ignited across the cliffs of Chaco Canyon, and the Gate of the Sun in the Andes shone like a second dawn. From Sedona's red stone to the temples of Göbekli Tepe, the resonance network awoke. This was not myth. This was memory. The field's return had triggered the planetary song, the harmonic hum of civilizations that once kept the world alive. And above it all, a stillness began to spread. Weapons powered down, machines forgot their commands. The engines of war fell silent. A global time dilation bubble had begun to expand, not in chaos, but in grace. It was not the end of the world, it was the moment the world began to remember itself. And at the heart of it all, three lights descended through the falling snow of Capel Green. Soft, absolute, human. The awakening had begun.
Giza's heart to tickle's flame. Old voices whispered Leo's name, not as a prophet, not as a king, but as the tone remembering. The world remembered, the world awoke, through silence deeper than words ever spoke. No war, no crown, no chosen hand, just light returning to the land. The field is open, the heart is whole, the signal hums within the soul. Faith and reason joined once more. Veritas walks through every door.
Over deserts, oceans, peaks, and graves, the light redeemed what conquest paved. Every weapon fell too still, every heart forgot to kill.
And in the hush, a single cry, the sound of time, remembering why. From water to Cape of Green, the song of man became serene. We were never broken,
Only divided,
the earth was not dying,
only waiting.
the light never left us.
It was hidden.
It was hidden in our name. The world remembered, the stars aligned, the maker's breath within mankind. The song returned, the silence ceased, the war of thought gave way to peace. Through every faith, through every tongue, the same first word was softly sung. Not mine, not yours, but ours again. The sound of earth made whole through men.
When they look to the sky, they will not see gods. They will see themselves, remembering.
December 24th, 2025, 23:52 GMT. Transit Corridor, Capel Green Alignment Zone. They were no longer suspended in the dilation field. They were moving forward, downward, inward. Jack, Leo, and Sergeant B emerged from the harmonic sheath in silence. The world around them shimmered with anticipation, and across the earth, the signal had already begun to awaken. Global. Resonance, sites active. All at once, ancient structures long dormant began pulsing with low, harmonic light. In Chaco Canyon, glyphs flickered faintly across sun-scorched stone. The Great Pyramid of Giza gave off a slow, thunderous hum beneath its base. In Tikal, lights rippled across moss-covered steps as Mayan resonance patterns reactivated. Göbekli Tepe vibrated with buried memory, its standing stones weeping electromagnetic mist. In the Andes, Tiwanaku's Gate of the Sun flashed in perfect sync with the sky. Near Uluru, the rock's magnetic field doubled. Elders sang a song no one had taught them, yet they all knew. Beneath the ice of Antarctica, signal arrays buried by centuries of silence pinged open. These were not coincidences. These were call signs. The world was remembering itself. Military systems. Failure across the grid. Simultaneously, every major military command system on Earth experienced cascading shutdowns. Missile locks failed. Drones dropped mid-air. Launch codes scrambled. AI weapon systems rebooted to factory null. No nation claimed it. No nation could stop it. A global time dilation bubble, centered over East Anglia, had begun to expand. Not in violence, but in stasis. Inside the bubble, time flowed differently, more gently, as if preparing the earth to receive something sacred. Spiritual awakening. Planetary response. In cities and villages around the world, people stirred, some weeping, some falling to their knees. Others simply stood still and looked at the sky, just as it had happened over 2,000 years ago when the stars realigned and the spirit of something vast and gentle entered human memory. Humanity was waking again. The spirit of Christmas began rising, not just as tradition, but as a field. The calendar hadn't turned yet in England, but across the Pacific it was already December 25th. And something was stirring. FOB Scepter, Capel Green. December 24th, 2025, 23:58 GMT. Snow fell lightly over the staging zone. Descartes stood near the lattice, eyes upward. His breath formed halos in the cold. They were coming, and then 3 points of light descended. Soft, absolute, beautiful. Jack, Leo, and Sergeant B touched down at the center of the harmonic array. Descartes didn't speak. He didn't have to. Leo turned and looked at him, their eyes locked. He knew the president had received the message, and so had Leo. Jack felt it too. B instinctively stepped back, letting Leo move forward alone. They had not discussed it. They had not rehearsed it. But everyone around them understood. Leo was now in charge. A stillness swept the field. The snow fell heavier. The lights flickered in rhythm with a tone no one could name. The three. And yet, it was not just Leo who stood ready. As they looked to the horizon, to the lights now aligning across the world, Jack and Sergeant B each felt a pulse within them, a binding realization, not of submission, but of unity. They were not here to lead. They were here to stand beside him, to anchor him, to protect the field through which he would speak. Jack stepped forward, placing a hand on Leo's shoulder. Sergeant B followed, nodding with quiet intensity. None of them spoke the words aloud, but all three understood. They were one movement now, one presence, one memory, coming home. The crossing was complete. Jack, Leo, and Sergeant B descended through the corridor of light, re-emerging into the world they had left behind. But everything had changed. Across the planet, ancient nodes of resonance ignited one by one, singing the same harmonic tone. From Giza to Göbekli Tepe, Tiwanaku to Uluru, and beneath the frozen ice of Antarctica, the earth remembered its song. The field had awakened. Military grids collapsed, AI systems reverted to silence, and the weapons of nations became as still as stones. For the first time in modern history, the world stood defenseless, yet profoundly safe. A global time dilation bubble, centered above East Anglia, expanded outward like a heartbeat. Time itself slowed, not in fear, but in reverence. People across continents lifted their eyes to the night sky. Some prayed, others wept, and many simply felt something vast and wordless stir inside them. It was not faith or science. It was remembrance. And in the falling snow at Capel Green, 3 points of light descended. Jack, Leo, and Sergeant B stood at the heart of the field, joined not by rank or reason, but by purpose. The Creator's promise had been fulfilled. The world would awaken not through revelation, but through recognition. As the snow thickened and the harmonic pulse steadied, Leo understood. The message was no longer waiting to be heard. It was waiting to be spoken. December 25th, 2025, 0001 GMT. The world was holding its breath. From the secure communications chamber beneath the White House to the frozen fields of Wiltshire, every signal, Every channel, every human frequency was listening. The awakening at Capel Green had triggered the final node, Stonehenge. Under the pale light of the moon, the stones began to glow from within, vibrating in resonance with a frequency not heard since the dawn of civilization. Birds turned mid-flight. Magnetic compasses spun in perfect circles. And across the globe, leaders, soldiers, scientists, and citizens all asked the same question, though each in their own language, their own fear, their own faith. What comes next? The answer was already forming, in Wiltshire's cold breath, in the pulse beneath the snow, in the stillness of millions who could feel the voice approaching. It was not a government that would speak, not a creed, not a nation. It would come through one voice, one bridge, carrying the echo of creation itself. The Creator's message was about to be heard, and the earth was listening.
Stillness of snow and sound, the sky